I'm Titilola.
I'm Tage.
This is Techpoint Africa Podcast.
This week on Techpoint Africa.
Guess who's back, baby? My name is Titilola Oludimu.
It's Titi in the building.
Okay.
Hey.
Are you going to say your name?
Oh, yeah. And Stage.
Okay.
Kene-Okafor. Back. Yeah.
Okay. Sage is now a rapper, by the way.
Yeah, my side hustle.
Yeah. So that's why he's exhibiting this very weird.
People will see me in
cool.
the studio next year.
From your point of view.
For my EP.
Yeah.
Tage is back. But anyways, yeah. Nice to be here.
Welcome to another episode of Techpoint Africa Podcast. I'm Oludimu, and as you've seen earlier, we have some very distinguished guests in the house today, in the studio rather. And as you also heard, they were like the first two voices on the Techpoint Africa Podcast when we took a shot at it in 2019. Good. And it's so nice to be with them in the studio today because I wouldn't have done it. I guess immediately when Iwa calls me and say, let's do podcast, I would have run away from the studio because I can't cook things off on my head and I don't like speaking to the mic. But these are the people that encouraged me. It's a round of applause for them.
We're trying.
Thank you very much. And welcome, Titi. Welcome, Tage. It's so beautiful to have you here today. And when we conceived this idea in our head that we want to bring the podcast OGs to the studio, felt like
OGs.
Yes, OGs. Yes, 2019 is a long time ago, and you brought life to the thought that we can do podcast because we're not like into the showbiz business.
I'm like, we're doing our job, but all right.
If it was me, like when you were, please, I can't do this. I wanted to have, but yes, that's nice. I don't know if you have any memories of
that first one.
Of the first one.
I know I took like lots of takes for that first one. I still felt like I was reading out from like a script.
And I think maybe we were nervous because it was the first time we were doing stuff like that. Like I know, I mentioned earlier that before podcast we were doing this video like news recaps called Techpoint weekly podcast. Weekly recaps or something.
Yes, and it was camera to your faces.
Yes,
too now.
and it was. I'm terrible in front of the camera. Me, I already know. So anytime anybody calls me, I'm like, no, bro, I'm not doing
do
that.
This.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so in front of the camera, no, because I kept on forgetting my lines. But it was nice for us to like go away from all of that and do it on audio.
Yeah,
I remember then I had just gotten into podcasts in general. Yeah, I started listening to podcasts and I loved podcasts. So it was like I was finally home. And so when they said we should come and do ours, I remember thinking it wouldn't be bad, but I think I was nervous because of course we had not done anything like that before. It was nice. I mean, I think that's the most I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like you said, being nervous the first time.
You remember you were still an intern then?
Actually, yeah. I don't even know why I accepted to do that thing because like,
again, I don't think we had a choice, my bro.
Yeah,
no,
it was just
I think you had podcast voices. They wouldn't have called me.
Did you?
It's my strong Yoruba accent.
Nah, come on.
I don't think so.
What was that?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like personally, it was nice I did that because it helped with, I won't say public speaking, but, just speaking about tech. Just state of affairs in tech and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm more comfortable, even in front of a camera or, just normal podcast.
Yeah, I remember that where like when we took a shot at video podcast in 2020, just after the lockdowns were lifted, I think in June. We were also there. I have some of those videos on YouTube.
Was I looking shy?
No, you were not. You were actually natural. You were natural in the videos. It was Muyiwa, Emmanuel, you and I on the podcast, and we've come a long way. Thank you for coming to the studio today. So I'm going to talk about the stories that we have today, and once in a while we have to come back to you because we're the stars in the building today.
Stop it, you guys.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll become an OG.
Yeah, like Titi.
And they will invite me here, and I'll sit there.
Okay.
All right. Why are you laughing? Emmanuel is behind the screen, actually. It's somewhere there. He did that for me last week, so yeah, it's somewhere there.
Good afternoon, sir.
I've been regulated to.
How's the family?
background.
Is it regulated, relegated? Okay, so just this
What do
morning.
we have today? No, go on.
ahead.
Just
Okay.
like what we have today.
Just this morning, we got to know that Jumia would be ending the operations of Jumia Food in Nigeria and 6 other African countries, and this is coming at a time where they still never made profit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean that to be offensive, but yeah, and the reasons are they're diverse, and there are other speculations also around this. But the main thing is that they're stopping operations, and seems the service is not bringing the necessary profit that it's supposed to bring, and since let me just say what the CEO said it's better they would rather focus more on the physical goods business, because they know that it is there that the potential for Jumia to grow lies, and it's also the path to profitability rather.
Yeah.
And they would rather take this decision and to focus on management, on the team, on capital resources, and just focus on those for the opportunities. So it's from this I could infer that they're not making much profit from Jumia Foods, and they are stopping the operations. But there are other conversations around it. For instance,
Your child egg here. And
Like the new entrance.
like the new
Yeah.
entrants, why are the new entrants not complaining this much, or why are they giving numbers that they are doing well, and Jumia Food is saying we are closing?
I saw a tweet recently, and it was that when you start, you know why it's an untapped market.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And that's what is good at.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's I think it's very apt in like, I mean, Jumia Food has been around for a minute.
I remember that. Yeah,
Exactly.
was it not
And
2018?
so the question should be that what do they know that we don't?
And also, like, other businesses are not profitable too. So
Yes.
the new entrants, Glovo, Chowdeck, I mean, both food exited the market too.
Yes,
None of them is profitable. And for Jumia, it's a public traded company.
Yeah.
For them, it matters more than the others that they become profitable. So they've run at a loss for, almost, since they went public in 2019 or 2016, one of them. Yeah. So it's like, it's important since the new CEO came in, Francis Dufay. It's like, hammering on profitability, cutting down costs, wherever. So before these 7 markets, right, they also shut down the food delivery business in 3 other markets last year. So now they've exited all their markets, 11 markets, right, food delivery.
Jumia Food doesn't exist anywhere, right?
Yeah.
When they leave
Yeah.
this,
So now focusing on, what's it called? Physical goods. So that's
consumer
for
goods.
high ticket items like electronics, like
Yeah.
items that are not perishable, like
yeah.
food,
Like
for
food.
instance, and you don't have the whole, so for food, for instance, there's a high, let's say, frequency, right? But then
The
the
margin is very
very
low.
Margin
low.
is
For the other items, fashion, for electronics, and the other big ticket items like items on Jumia platform, right? That's what they want to focus on, and they've been able to grow profitably in 3 markets so far, right? From last year, from when the CEO came in last year to this
So
year,
now.
right? And now it's like trying to replicate that the growth or the profitability in those 3 markets across the other markets. So
Yeah.
it makes sense for him to do that. But the problem now is revenues will kind of drop because, the food delivery space was
I
like,
think same
yeah,
will be
was the second
same-
fastest growing segment after fashion.
Yeah.
And like I think the fastest growing and second item sold after fashion, right, on Jumia, like in a while. So they'll lose money from there, but also to help them,
streamline their expenses.
expenses, right? And he said something about moving some of the personnel from there
To
so I mean there'll be some layoffs, right, and all that.
There
We are
will be
back to the
layoffs.
whole, new entrants like Chowdeck and Glovo. It's
Glovo.
like, they've been in the market for 2-3 years.
Yes.
they've not put in the amount of capital that
Jumia
Jumia
has.
has.
Fair
And
enough.
now it's like for them, they have to go on after those, the users that Jumia is no longer serving.
Yeah, that's-
So I think a lot of is it microeconomics factors affect when it affects businesses that has to do with food.
Mm-hmm.
But then since it's vendors, it's like a marketplace for food vendors. I don't know how it's actually, is it the infrastructure that is taking the money for Jumia Foods, or I really don't understand. It's not Jumia that is doing
Like
the food
logistics.
business,
Yeah,
like the
it's
logistics.
logistics.
Very, very capital intensive.
Oh,
You have to manage
logistics.
those bikes.
Mhm.
You have to do all of these things.
Pay
You
your
have to pay the
drivers.
personnel as well.
Hmm.
And they're like
It's-
other offline
And
things
it's
that
not
come with
third
that.
party.
No.
Is like the
Mhm.
riders are
Like
their
Jumia,
On payroll,
employees
yeah.
on their
Exactly.
payroll.
So-
I
Interesting.
feel like there'll be some riders that do
Maybe.
multiple
Well, don't
jobs,
they
but
have
most of them
those?
are
They
like
are, I don't know.
personal
Yeah.
drivers. Yeah, they do. I think that's the case.
So drivers eating.
Yeah, I
people's
mean, yeah,
food.
there's a lot of that. And again, I'm still going back to the margin that is really low.
Very low.
Like, it's not a thing where you have to, you cannot be profitable if you don't do like millions and millions of orders every week, every
other
month, for it to make sense. And it's interesting to see that as Jumia is exiting, there are other people who they seem to be doing well. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know how well,
Yeah.
but from what
we
we
know
see,
for child deck, right? In terms of like GMV, not
yeah. I mean, again,
profitability or
I
revenues
don't know. I'm
and all
very
that.
skeptical about when startups put out numbers.
what
In
I actually
general.
like it. Like it shows that
Yeah,
you do
because
something
they be
right.
lying sometimes, my bro. Do you understand? And
Yeah.
so it's
I get you. I
so
get
you
your
have
point.
to take some things with a pinch of salt, because you know that, I mean, it might be true. I'm not saying it's not true, but I just always like say, okay, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but I'm not going to go and start quoting you anywhere else.
Yeah.
So,
And even time will tell. Like
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
with
But
time
stuff like
time
this.
will
like I always
tell.
say, I'm rooting for everybody.
Of course.
So,
fair enough.
yeah, so I hope that they do well and then they prove everybody wrong.
And in a way, it seems well, Glover and Chowdeck now has like a, I don't know, maybe a shift of customers, like customers that have not always used them, that used to use Jumia Food
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
now-
exactly.
They're-
Like
so
they're
me, for
acquiring
example.
more now.
I'm a
Yeah.
very good example. I used to use Jumia Foods, but then
Yeah.
I discovered Glovo and Chowdeck, and I'm
Okay.
And now that Jumia
yeah,
Food
exactly.
is
It's
no
no
more,
longer.
I
no
hope
longer
have
I
an
hope they
option.
make use of this
so they have to kind of raise more money, right?
Yeah.
To
to
Cater
save
to
the
this.
customers.
like cater to them, because they'll have an
Like
influx
the
of new
more
customers,
orders,
right?
they have
More
to
orders and all
invest
that.
in like
So invest in infrastructure, yeah.
And then they had Chowdeck had a partnership recently with
With-
ShopRite.
Yeah, so now they're into
I love
grocery
it,
delivery,
honestly.
and I don't know. I feel like that shift of, Glovo too has that,
Yeah,
and
it's good. It's good
it's
for
good.
it's
But
good
for
the
me, the
market.
shift of focus is
It's
it's not a
just
shift of
focus
focus,
on
just like
food.
adding
Yeah,
grocery delivery
I
to
think
the
it's
food element.
Look at it from like an expansion perspective. Okay, we have done food. I mean, I don't know whether they are very like.
Yeah, there's still more.
There's still more to do,
exactly.
fine,
So adding
but
grocery to it
I mean,
is
when you look at it from that,
spreading
okay, we've been able
yourself
to dominate this market to an extent.
Mhm.
What's the next thing? And then they're doing this. It's not like they're abandoning the food thing.
Is that what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if, for instance, you raise like $20 million, I don't know how much Chowdeck has raised, right?
500k.
100K.
Publicly available data.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure they probably
Invest
raised
some
more
more
than
money.
that,
Mm.
right? Because
I love it that nobody knows. I'm sorry to you guys in media,
yeah,
but we need people to stop telling us these things. Just
I mean,
raise your money and face your work.
So
Fair
what will we
enough.
now be doing?
you get
You don't have
Because of
It's
that
part-
thing.
no, like I'm talking about the money raising part in
yeah.
particular. I mean,
So
that's not
it-
the only thing
it's
that
a
is happening
signal
in the.
yeah.
That things are
That
happening.
that is a signal of prosperity.
Is it though?
So if I see that Chowdeck has just 500k, me as a developer now, would I want to work there? Do I know that if they have enough runway, right, to sustain? Like, I mean, it
But
makes more sense. Like if I say company has raised 10 million
Yeah.
and they just raised like last year, I'm like, okay, they have like 18 months, 24 months for me.
But they
Right,
shut down.
exactly. For 500k, I'm not really
Listen,
sure.
yeah.
Right, it's like, if I join in 2 months, will this company still be alive? Right,
Angle.
that's
As in, not
that's
just
something
security
that-
again.
exactly
no,
right.
just-
So for the employees too, it's also
Yeah.
important that they have an idea of what the company looks like has in terms of runway.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, if Chowdeck has raised more than that, maybe 10, 20, it makes sense for them to juggle food delivery
And
I guess
other
what you
things.
mean, actually.
right. So now, for instance, they've added the grocery part from ShopRite, and now they have more customers from Jumia Food closing down. So it's like, they have to.
To
They can't reject those
up their games.
customers, right? So
Yeah,
they have
of
to
course, others will
up-
keep coming.
up their game and all that.
Hopefully, they raise soon, or they.
I mean, the thing about raising money is so easy to talk about, and you don't know, like, a lot of people, especially in this market, like in this present day and age, where people are struggling. People have been raising money since 2020. They've not closed. Do you understand? And it's not. I mean, that may be a stretch and exaggeration, but that's the point. The point I'm trying to make is that it's not as easy to raise money as it used to be.
It's not.
And so you can imagine why they would think that, we are doing food, but let's do something else that would then support.
Yeah,
because at the end of it, you have to make money, make revenue. Yes, exactly, so that you don't rely on investment all the time. Because where's the money really?
Yeah,
like,
that's
people are not
why
really raising funds anymore.
Of layoffs and shutdowns because
they're trying to
streamline
their operations.
Well, that's usually the convenient excuse.
No, it's true.
But I hear it.
So I said we're not going to drag status that shut down today. So
no, but I pity Chowde because they're competing with Glovo that has raised over $1 billion.
But part of like the money that Glovo has
is across its 25 markets actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just 60 million they're trying to spread across Africa. I don't know how many markets there are in Africa.
60 million. Does Chowde have 60 million?
Chowde is just Nigeria. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
So like
Lagos. If they have outside of Lagos,
I think they are expanding to Ibadan or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and some other markets like PH. Yeah.
Oh, really?
But like if
them,
Glovo, for instance, is in 10
money.
markets in Africa. So that's like 6 million across it, like each of them. I'm not sure, right? If it's
still
10
a
markets.
lot.
Yeah, 6. I mean, Chowde can raise up to that in seed, like based on the traction, right, that they have right now. I feel like if investors know that Jumia Food is no longer there as the major competitor, it's just Glovo now.
And they can sell that story.
Exactly,
it's
like
we need to raise more money to be able to meet up with the
market
orders that
leaders
we
and all
have.
that.
That's interesting. I think we should. That's a good one, and it's good to discuss this kind of things that happen because the running a business or running a startup, for instance, in this space, the African space. I think somebody screenshot Emmanuel's. It's already in the article announcing this shutdown of operations that every landscape in Africa is very, very difficult. It's complex to work in, and it cuts across every business: fintech, e-commerce, edtech. You said Web3, crypto, everywhere. Everyone is
about Web3 by the way. All right, yeah, sure.
Anyways, there was like an interesting conversation that came up earlier in the week. There was a 2023 global skills report that revealed that 1.7 million Nigerians use Coursera platform to learn. But even though with that,
not enough, but it's a lot.
Okay.
Yes, even with that number, I think the focus.
I would have guessed. Yeah.
Our Netflix number is what again? I don't know.
It's not up to
It's like-
100,000.
Are you sure?
I'm not surprised.
100K.
You know, many people
Wait, is
are
it
sharing
Netflix?
one
Sorry,
account.
YouTube rather.
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, not Netflix. Yeah. I'm just like, what are we watching on YouTube? Why do you not watching it on Coursera? Sorry.
No, not just movies. There are people take like free courses on YouTube as well.
Who is the host again?
Don't they? No, none of they say is like Netflix. I mean, YouTube is like the freest university in the world or whatnot.
Yeah,
That's
fair
what they
enough.
say.
Yeah.
So
So Coursera is like paid courses, right?
You know,
Are they
there
like
are
free
there are
ones
free
as well?
courses and they have coupons every
Wow.
other day.
Look at me exposing myself.
You are not one of the 1.7 million.
It's not.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
It's not. But the stats are not really
I know.
very interesting for Nigeria because the reports covered the whole of sub-Saharan Africa.
Kenya is how many? If you have an idea. Do you have an idea?
Yeah?
Kenya.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
In this article I'm looking at, I see UK, I see India. Okay, not sub-Saharan.
Okay, so I think those
UK,
are
Nigeria. So those are the ones that are captured in this article I'm looking at.
So are you trying to say like Nigeria is the leading
think
whatever?
Yeah,
No,
for
it's
Africa?
100
I think so.
on the list.
Hey.
But is it number one in Africa?
No.
It's not possible.
It's
not.
100 on
It's
the
not.
list and
It's
I
not number
think SA or
one in
Kenya
Africa.
probably.
I think the numbers are.
So the highest ranking in Africa includes Botswana, Cameroon, Rwanda, and Zambia.
Jesus.
And they owed the 29th position, 48th position, 52nd position, the 58th.
Is it numbers? In number? Because if you look at the population of these countries that you mentioned, and you now like just oppose it
I think maybe there is a comparison.
There has to be. Because if you're saying Rwanda, how many are they? Yeah, maybe the size of Ikorodu. Yes,
but no, okay. It might be like
not compare them to like the entirety of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria and people that use
I'm
Coursera.
just saying that because I don't know.
Well, then again, it's like, is it percentage wise, or
if it's percentage, then it will make sense.
Or if it's like pure numbers, then that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, the position I mentioned now is based on this in terms of skill proficiency.
Oh. Okay.
In terms of skill proficiency as they use, I don't think this is the numbers.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I'm not very sure the numbers for other African countries.
But Nigeria is 100 on the list.
One yes, 1.7 million.
Yeah, proficiency.
Skill proficiency 100.
I believe them.
Interestingly.
Okay, so sub-Saharan Africa in total is 4.9 million. And Nigeria is 1.7
million.
So they did a spotlight on Nigeria and they did a spotlight on South Africa, which is 900,000.
We have more people.
We have more.
So we have like 30% of the entire.
Yeah, so I think we're the highest.
We're
But the ranking is where
the ranking of skill proficiency
we don't do
is
because
the
I figured
is the
that
issue.
we would have the most number.
100 and
So
this East African countries.
Our like Nigerians that do these things don't.
Yeah, like when they've taken these skills, they don't really like. They're not
Master
really
it.
proficient in.
And
skills. Let's say maybe you learned something on like business analytics or something, and then when it's time to show workings, you found one.
Or okay. Maybe what they used to grade this is the test
the
you
test.
do before you get your certificate.
They said Nigerians were smart though. But all right.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that might influence that. Some people do the courses
Also,
and don't do
Lagos
the test.
Traffic, please. Let's all be remembering that there's Lagos traffic.
It's not everybody that is in Lagos.
And for people. And then there's, do you know who our president is?
Probably like 1.6 that is in Lagos. Sorry, I'm just being
fair
biased.
enough, because it requires the internet, and when you step out,
I was joking, please. Don't.
Yes.
You make a valid point actually.
There are a lot of
make a valid point that
learners
a huge
from
percentage
Lagos.
of the people would be here in Lagos. Yeah, that's a valid point.
And Lagos traffic is very important.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that affect. There are a lot of factors that affect skill proficiency. Sometimes your completion rate might be low.
Yeah.
Then you don't do there are some free courses that you have to pay to do the exams or get the certificate. Then you do the course, you don't take evaluation. They don't evaluate you, so they don't. Yes, but people go there to learn. And then there are coupons and Black Friday discounts. People do that, they don't get their certificate. So that can also contribute. Then apart from that, there's the infrastructure part of people having the right infrastructure to learn online. And I was speaking to some edtech founders recently, and some of them are not very proud of their completion rate, because as far as they are concerned, physical learning still trumps. And learning online might not be the best for the kind of environment that we are right now. It might not be encouraged because you don't have data. You work with AltSchool, and I think you can speak to that kind of challenge.
That's what you said, Lagos traffic.
I think a way that we try to avoid stuff like that is because AltSchool runs a code-based system. So everybody has to learn at the same time. Begin at the same time, end at the same time. So we have like checks in between. So if you don't finish this thing, you're not going to the next like that. So when you know that you are moving with people, we have a community of people. In addition to the larger community, we have like learning circles where they put like 10 people together. So we motivate each other. Have you done your assignments? Have you gone through?
So
things like exactly. So things like this help you like to hold one another along the journey. So that's why we might not have like the same issues. I mean, it's a general thing, but maybe we're able to like mitigate those challenges a bit more than self-learning platforms like Coursera or Udemy. Yeah. Because everybody is moving at the same time. You have people, you have a community behind you to know that you're not doing this on your own. Because when you go on Coursera, you're literally on your own. Yeah. You wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't feel like doing this course today. Let me just wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is like 3 months away, right? And so, but when you know that you have exams tomorrow, and you have somebody texting you on WhatsApp and saying, "Alpha, have you guys completed your assignment?"
Don't just graduate with your sets.
Exactly. You're able to like.
You want to graduate?
Exactly. You're more motivated to like.
You pay school fees too.
Exactly. It's not free.
Yes.
Right. Especially if you're even paying with your own money.
So the
Nobody's going to
is,
tell you.
Is nice.
Yes, it's really good because again, you see them on Twitter all the time, like AltSchool has come to tweet about their learning circles, their completion or their progress and stuff.
You don't see that with Coursera.
Yeah, because again, it's self-learning, right? It's not easy. Let's be as much as you have like self-discipline. Sometimes you just wake
you need
up.
somebody to hold you accountable.
You enter again Lagos traffic.
But we're all adults. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I think Tage is trying to play the devil's advocate here because you understand
easy.
the struggle.
It's really not easy, right? So it's nice to be able to have those people come along with you as you go through the journey.
I also saw some interesting insights in the report that we were talking about, and that is how entrepreneurship skills and business skills are mostly the sought after skills on Coursera, even for self-learner. And it also brings me to a particular course about sales that AltSchool is currently doing. Sales impact course, just 6 weeks course, and just imagine having to go and self-learn sales on Coursera, for instance, and having to do it for 6 weeks with a community behind you at AltSchool Africa. So there is this early bird tuition fee that is going on, and I want to let you in.
Grab your copy now.
Yes. So this is not just self-learning. We're not just going to send you videos to watch. You're going to sit under the learning online, of course, of facilitators that have gone ahead to close a cumulative of $10 million deal across the world. And so they know their onions, they've been in this space, and they know what works and what doesn't work. So if you want to take advantage of this, we'll drop a link in the description, and you can pay for the early bird tuition rather, which is highly discounted. Then you can also use our discount Techpoint. Techpoint is the discount code to get another discount. It's double discount. And I've mentioned in this podcast before, everybody needs to know how to sell. Everybody, because we know we have dreams, we have visions. We were talking before we started this podcast how people think of business ideas and try to bring it to life. If you can't tell it to people will not give you money. You will not get investor money. Let me just tell you that. So you need to learn how to sell. Either you are leading a sales team, or you're the owner of a business, or you're a founder, anybody, or you're a journalist,
or you're a career professional.
Yes, or you're a career professional. So everybody needs to know how to sell, because money is scarce now, and you need to tell people things they should hear ethically for them to give you money. So it's a lot of things there. You need to learn it. So we'll drop the link in the description.
And grab your copy now.
Tage. So that said, Emmanuel said he has some incriminating numbers that he wants to talk about.
Incriminating.
Okay, so yeah, the number I shared before, first of all, was for sub-Saharan Africa, in the entirety of Africa.
That's 4.9 million.
4.9 million.
Wow.
But
That's plenty rich.
For Africa,
Egypt is number one.
Egypt is the number one, 2.2 million.
Very
nice.
That's nice.
But what I found interesting about Nigeria's numbers is why we are, say, doing well with accounting, entrepreneurship, and all of that. We are doing terribly with tech courses on Coursera. Cloud computing, 3%. Computer programming, 5%. Operating system,
I'm not surprised.
1%. No, but we're all doing tech bro. I mean, what's going on?
Is this? No, she gave us some context about like the different things that might
go
be
on.
the reasons why it's not easy to learn technical skills on your own.
Yes,
it's not. Trust me.
So people in Egypt, they have 2 heads.
What do you mean? That's 1 out of maybe 100 or 1,000 people.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
It's not. And
do you know how frustrating you get frustrated one day and you just leave your laptop and go and learn how to do carpentry?
Tech
or sell
Exactly.
things on Instagram or
you
something
gotta
like
exchange
that.
your laptop for
Like how I
spaghetti.
want to,
Did you see?
you know.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that meme.
picture?
I've seen that meme.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to reconsider this tech.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not.
Yeah, so
the
it's not
easiest
easy
thing.
learning technical things. You know, there's this thing with going to the university and learning one of my bias against core technical or science courses in Nigerian universities is because you don't get to learn the real life things. But when you learn things like entrepreneurship, you can see real life experiences. Even if you are self-learning, when you learn business, you can see real life experiences. But when it's tech, you really need somebody to hold your hands and put you through. I mean, I don't like the way you're looking
You
at
know,
me.
at all
As if
schools,
you
we
don't-
actually have
you don't
people
believe
who
me.
have learned on their own, come and enroll because you learn on your own and you just learn haphazardly. Like you learn
Yes.
this, and you don't even have like a structured learning plan.
Mhm.
Or a plan. I think that's the best word to use. And so when you have like a structured, somebody is checking on you, you have checks here and there, you're able to learn what you're supposed to learn. It can even take you longer if you're learning on your own, because first of all, you don't know what to learn. You're just jumping from one course to another,
yeah.
right? Because you're not sure of, okay, I'm at this level
Fair
of
enough.
my learning journey. What am I supposed to be learning now? You have no idea. So that's maybe one of the reasons why you're jumping from one, and then it's being recorded as a statistic, and now you're dragging our tech bros. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, as human beings, there's only a few people who can like have that. I don't know whether it's self-discipline to say, okay, this is what I want to do.
Like,
I mean, do you know how many courses I have?
How many courses I've done?
But I agree.
And then-
I agree.
Do you know?
I think the point Emmanuel is trying to make is that tech is being overrated.
No, I don't think so. I don't agree with that.
Mm,
You know, I don't.
I mean,
Well, I agree with you guys, and I
Are you sure?
concede. But
Yeah.
my own is, how many Nigerian tech bros are learning operating systems?
what now?
What?
Conversation for another day. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is one interesting news that Flutterwave hired 6 new executives.
Love it.
Let's take a moment to process that.
No, what's special?
And
about
now,
executives?
what is special about this is that these executives are from notable firms like Binance, Cash App, Binance US, Cash App, PayPal. What other? Western
Stripe.
Union, Stripe. So those big
Oh, there's a
names.
Stripe person there.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
think the first thing that came to mind is like this is about trying to like
Posture.
no, not posture, like what's the word?
Prepare for
Establish themselves in the US.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the
Mm.
license thing too.
That's what
right?
it is. Because when you start hiring people like that in that type of location, you know, these people they
Yeah,
have
come to think
experience
of
with
it, the
payments
roles
and-
include risk officer,
There you go.
VP global expansion and payment partnership, VP global expansion, another person, executive VP. Oh, there's VP and there's executive
it.
VP, and there's head of
VP
compliance
risk
in the
management
US.
too.
So I think that
Exactly.
is
That's definitely what it
you're
is.
very right with that. Well, I saw an interesting quote of that announcement, and the person said, "Where is Flutterwave seeing this money?"
Mm-hmm. There is
They're making
250
money
million
now.
now.
Let me
They
talk
have
on.
Now you talk am.
Yes.
Okay. Have you found an answer to it?
I know, like, where is Flutterwave seeing the money to hire 6?
I mean, you don't even want to start thinking
But
about
wait
how much
now,
they have
you
to
think
pay
250
them.
million is more money or what? It's
Yeah,
not
there is
now.
money, and also they're not making
So they
money.
should be
Exactly, so they're
using
making
money they
revenue
raise
too.
to be paying salaries
What they use it before? For
to run their business.
yeah, that, I mean, paying
And
salary.
because-
So
Okay.
if
And
they
get
imagine if they
revenue.
establish their
Yeah, and they have revenue too.
presence in the US, I mean,
Yeah.
they'll make more money.
More money
So
there too.
my issue was, they just got licenses in 13 new states. I've read somewhere, I've not been able to verify, so take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt, but those state licenses cost in the region of $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So 13
Say that much they
states.
raised,
So that's-
250K or
That was like a
250
year ago,
Yeah, that was a year ago,
Say
huh?
they raised 250 million.
Million, yeah.
over a year ago. And
Yeah.
they've
They
have
gotten
revenue
13
now.
million.
So think
And then you can take
Look.
a bet on a company, on any startup that is making revenue already.
Do you know it's possible that they've even raised another money? I don't know.
Exactly. There's that too. And also, like,
Right?
when they raise
I
the
mean, I
250,
don't know what
you
they're
don't know what
about
they
with
told
their money. I'm
investors,
just saying.
right?
Yeah,
What
they're
they were
gonna
going to use
do.
the money for.
Mhm.
This might have been part of the
Exactly.
Was it earlier this
plans
year that
for-
they hired an HR, a foreign HR? I think that was like the start of Flutterwave bringing in foreign executives.
Yeah.
And
So
this
Flora
like
is not the company that we have in mind. I mean, yes, they are unicorn, 3 billion, blah blah blah. Right? We think they're African, but this position is. I'll say I don't think we've seen something like this yet.
Yeah,
We don't even know the
we
extent it's
haven't.
going
Mhm.
to reach. So like they'll probably raise another series. I think that was series D. So series E might be in the works, right?
and then F and the cycles keeps going on.
Yeah. So
like
and
people are
also ties
putting
back
all
to like the
these
CFO and the
numbers.
other finance guys leaving, and people were like, questioning the IPO plans and if the company is experiencing some tumult and all that. But I mean, we see that.
Yeah, they've hired 6 more people.
Yeah. So it's probably it was already a work in progress.
Yeah.
Like some people will leave and some people will replace them. So like 3 versus 6, and all these guys are in finance,
Yeah.
right? Risk management and expansion,
Compliance.
compliance, right? Very important rules that the CFO, like might have been doing, but probably
You need,
having
like
2-3
more,
more.
yeah, like more people,
doing
especially
that,
people who have
yeah.
experience in the US
in
market.
the US, yeah. So I mean, highest run from Stripe, PayPal versus. Okay, let me not continue. Sorry. Let me
Let's
just stop
we'll see
there.
how it goes
Yeah.
actually.
But yeah,
how
so
things
like
unfold.
I think they are well capitalized.
I have
And-
a theory about this.
Let's
Sorry.
say your theory.
So I have a theory. I think so. Here's what I think. A lot of Africans that have been going public in the US stock market, they've not done well. Jumia has not done well.
Jimmy is the only one now.
Tingo
Well,
is there.
I don't know. I don't know who will raise that it's fine. Like I don't think there's a real company.
How did they IPO?
Tingo. No,
How did they
not with
IPO?
Tingo's one is sketchy. It's sketchy. We talked about it on this
Do they have a real
podcast.
product?
How did they IPO?
Did it
Well, we-
IPO per se? It was a direct listing, right?
A direct
And
listing. Okay,
it was
true.
still like sketchy until now, like to date. I don't even know if they're like trading properly, right? So personally,
you go and
like
find out.
I'm not
Where
going to waste my
your-
strength on that.
What you call it? Your
company.
investigative
So-
journalism hat.
Yeah, but me, I was just thinking that okay, Flutterwave might be just trying to deepen their presence in the US ahead of a US
IPO, yeah, that
so
makes
that
sense.
they are more familiar US
And
investors.
more lucrative,
Yeah.
yeah.
So an IPO with a company that is already well known in the US
Mhm.
is more likely to be successful.
Makes
than,
more sense.
Oh,
And they have
this-
Someone
operations,
just came
yeah,
from
yeah.
nowhere from
oh,
Africa.
it's from
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
How much is Africa making? That kind of thing. So
It's a very, very
So
smart
it's
move from
posturing.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's posturing, but if they're able to like back it up with real operations on the ground,
Mhm.
right? So I think the license thing is for them for Send, right? I don't know if they're able to do the whole B2B thing, right, with the licenses, but like Send, for instance, able to transfer like remittance and cross-border
Yeah.
payments and making it maybe better than what we
What
have
you
with
currently
Western
have.
Union or MoneyGram and all those guys, right? If they're able to crack that with the licenses that they have, then that's like a gold mine for them. It's like more people in the US who use that to send more money than the traditional methods, right? So they were established that as a US product,
Mhm.
like how I think was it SendWave before they became Wave, right? Was doing, and for them it's going like Emmanuel said now, get more familiar with the retail investors there. So when they're going public, it's like, oh, this is kind of one of our own. Like unlike Jumia, that was like imported from Africa and nobody really cared, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it makes sense just to see. Like again, time will tell
Time will his fingers crossed.
if it works out. Yeah.
Igo V, right? Talking about roles. So you guys started as journalists.
Oh, wow.
What are you doing now?
The spotlight is back on us.
I'm still a journalist, though.
Eh?
I'm still a journalist,
Yeah,
but
still a journalist.
pursuing a career in music. So, so
All
watch out
the
for
best.
my EP.
All the best with that. So this is what do you now do? What do you currently do?
Now is project manager. Managing a couple of projects.
And people.
No, mostly
Just
projects.
projects, okay.
Mostly projects. I mean, of course, people are there doing their own thing. But
People have projects. Wow.
yeah, but that's what
Why
I
you putting words
that's
in
what I
our mouth?
currently do, in a nutshell.
Do you prefer that to like being a journalist?
When I was a journalist, I knew that I wouldn't do it for the longest time.
Wow.
Yeah, like for real. So I mean,
Like there's a broke kind of thing like
No,
that.
I don't
You want to make
think-
money or
Yeah.
something like
as
that.
much as there was a time where I thought, I was okay at it, but I just felt like
No, you're not okay. You're very
I just felt like, oh, well, thank you. I was just trying to be modest.
Wow.
I was just trying to be modest. But yeah, I knew that it wasn't,
Long time.
yeah, it wasn't long term. So,
We did for like 4 years now.
yeah, I did for 5 minutes. That's enough.
That's enough for.
Yeah, it's enough. So,
How long have you guys been doing this thing?
Ask yourself
Four.
first. You ask yourself
you've been
first.
in longer.
No,
Oh.
No,
all of us are in the same
we've
period.
all been in
Oh,
it.
okay,
It's
you
the
more
said
same
than
that.
4
way.
now. It's
Same
almost
time.
5.
Not
Was
close
mid-
to
was
5.
mid
It's closer.
2019.
No, it's August
Yeah,
2019.
I'm saying mid 2019.
Mid 20.
Yeah.
No, August is not mid.
It's mid for me. Oh, sorry.
So 4 years. Abi?
Is it not?
20,
August is not
4
mid. Oh,
years.
it's not. Shit.
I mean, yeah. So
I thought it was like, I don't know. Yeah, so it's 4 years. Is it? I
It's
swear-
4 years
Yeah,
plus.
I'm not like I thought it was 5 years. It feels longer than.
feels like another 4 years, but
Uh,
it's not much
So
different.
so how long are you doing this for, Tage? How long more?
No, it's not 4 years now.
Tej has already said he's trying to
Chill.
bring
3
up
years.
an EP.
3 years with TechCrunch, 18 months with Techpoint.
4 years.
Exactly. So it's not 4 years.
I said 4 years
said
plus. It's
August
closer
now.
to 4 years than it
Then
is to 5 years.
It's 4 years and 6 months.
No, up to 6
6
months.
So have I done 3 years with TechCrunch
Like,
and
I
18
think it's
months?
4
You see, you
months,
can do
4
your
years
math
and
very
4
well.
No, it's 4 years and
And
what?
4 months.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if you said August.
You've not done up to 3 years with TechCrunch, Stage.
I have.
Yeah, rounding up.
When did you
No.
start?
You
at Tech?
February.
Jan 2021.
January.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, January now.
Exactly. So in January it'll be like
2021.
It will still not be
yeah.
4
So
years.
the whole of
3 years.
2021.
Yeah,
Not be
it's
No,
still
the
be
whole of
5 years. Oh
2021,
God,
whole of
our listeners are
2022.
probably looking at us and be like,
You
what
can't
is wrong
calculate.
with these
What is
people?
with people when they say you should pay attention in math class?
Math is
That's
hard.
3 years now.
When they said pay attention in math class, what were you doing?
What? Is it not 3 years?
It's 3 years. It's
Exactly.
supposed to be 3 years in January.
In January.
In January or
Don't
this
worry
December.
about it.
I'm not. It's,
Don't worry.
I
But you
think
know
it
it's
can't
the
be
end
4
of
years.
It's
January.
5 years.
I feel
But you
like
know
I've
it's
been
the
doing
end
this
of
long.
January. You joined TechCrunch.
You not tell me
in
how
the
long
first
I've been
week. Okay, we are that's the level, right?
Oh my god! I actually
Oh
thought it was
boy.
more than 4
Easy.
years.
Yeah,
Like you
yes.
said, I want to like music. You
Yeah,
know.
music
Music.
for him.
So yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, I didn't think I was going to do it for a long time. And when it felt like I was getting to that point where I needed to do
Burnout?
something else. No, it just felt like I needed to do something else. Yeah, so that was when I stopped doing it.
And
It was
you found
City is
that
a
for a
2-time
bit,
startup founder.
Did you get?
Listen,
Yeah.
listen,
Hmm.
don't do it. Do not do it. Whatever job you have, like just hold on.
Oh,
to
it's
it.
not trying to
You
be a
understand?
startup founder.
Talking to you, like watching
Don't
me
mind
right
that.
now.
Do
not
you?
do it.
Okay.
But yeah, we need more
Risk
solutions
takers,
to the
yeah.
problems that we face. So yeah, by all means, do it. It's
Uh-huh.
going to be hard. Don't mind. You know, I was joking at first, but I think that as much as we have like a lot of entrepreneurs in Nigeria, it's never too much, especially those who want to solve real problems.
Real problems.
So please,
key.
by all means,
Should
if
we
you
say
have
that?
Problems.
if you have like an idea that will solve some of our problems, please start with Lagos
Untapped
traffic.
market.
Please start there.
Still,
Like, I'm
Lagos traffic is
it's
an infrastructure problem.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
of course, you can't solve Lagos
Build
traffic, but I'm just saying,
helicopters.
like there are really like a lot of problems that need to be solved. So please do that. Thank you very much.
Like food delivery.
Yeah.
Oh my, you don't have enough people doing that yet.
We don't have food delivery enough platform. Just 2 now.
It's been a great time in the studio with you guys today.
It's been-
Really
it's been a
great.
fun
And
day.
Emmanuel, thanks for
Same.
chipping in 1 or 2 times.
I'll be
behind
coming
the
here
scene.
like when I release my first.
Yeah,
You have to
my
help.
first single.
You have to help Emmanuel to promote his music.
I'm
Emmanuel,
Tage.
I mean, sorry, Tage.
Tage.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
Emmanuel, you
Tage.
also sing. I can feature you.
Emmanuel can rap. Emmanuel, can you rap? Can you rap?
No.
Yes, you can
Yeah, I
now.
can rap. Oh.
Emmanuel
Let me
can
release
rap.
the single first.
No,
if
if
you
you
blow,
need somebody to
like
feature
Zumba.
in your
Zumba.
Like how Ashake did.
Yeah,
you know,
okay,
Zumba.
then I'll just,
And
you just
I thought you
Yeah,
said you
like
wanted to
Burna
do Nathaniel Bassi off camera the other time.
he forgot.
Who, me? Come on.
He has denied
He
it.
forgot.
So, guys, the next time you see Tage, you might be onto something else. Not
Listen.
music.
You
Like-
see him rolling with the likes of Whiskey and Davido.
Straight up. And like, Techpoint Africa Podcast was the first place.
Listen.
I said it. Know what I'm
Listen.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Anyways, I think there are a few mentions. Cheaper Cash
What did you again?
laid off fourth
Oh.
time in 12 months.
They said they were profitable soon, right? So
It is like the way I saw the news, it was like what's the figure of speech? Like you say, okay, we are laying off, we'll soon be profitable soon. Are you not trying to like streamline so that at least you can stay afloat, stay alive? Now you say you're going to be profitable soon. Yes, it's a game of time.
So sometimes, yeah, like I have very strong opinions about like startups and hiring, and then having to now lay off people. Sometimes people hire people they don't need, and so sometimes like shedding that excessive fat does not mean that this business is struggling. It might just mean that they've come to their senses. I'm like, you know what? We don't really. These people are just faffing off in the office, just watching YouTube videos and Instagram reels
because there's no work for them
exactly.
to do.
And then they realize that they're just wasting money on overhead costs and salaries and all of that.
But we need to.
I'm not saying that is the case for cheaper cash. I'm just saying that aside the fact that some people are laying low just to stay alive, other people are just cutting the excessive fat.
But you know, the reports of the previous layoffs are usually around we're trying to survive. There was a time we heard that cheaper cash wanted to be acquired. Like want to set off.
That might be.
So now we're not.
See, at the end of the day, just put yourself in the shoes of a startup. You're not coming out to come and tell people the truth. Let's all be honest with ourselves. Do you understand? Let's be honest.
I see what you did there.
It's true.
You're not coming out to tell people the truth. Let's be honest with ourselves. So
it's true. Like, you know, things are happening in-house. We have a comms team that can whip up one narrative and put it out there.
Yeah, always own your narrative.
The media will swallow it up and spread it.
Well, they'll do that, or
and sometimes they'll try to do their own, and sometimes they might find the real truth. Other times, maybe not.
10% of the time
they find the truth. The remaining 90%.
I'm working with startups so much, so you actually know they're telling you lies.
It's not like you know for a fact.
You just know that some things don't add up.
Yeah, and it's like, what can you do about it?
Exactly.
Right.
And then when you try
to
shake the tree to see what falls, sometimes nothing falls.
Exactly. It's like everything's compact, and I respect
Fortunately,
that. Doing some KGB stuff.
No, it's true.
It's true.
At some point, you just say, "Is this even worth it?"
Sometimes, most times, it's not worth it. Because at some point, you start feeling like you're even witch hunting.
Yeah, it's like
why are you on our case? Just leave them.
You can't let them be.
You can actually. You can drink water.
How many people do you want to follow?
Stay hydrated and mind my business.
Unless they are really hurting people,
exactly,
like they are. But if it's just that they are just
not doing well.
But you don't know how tough it is.
The casualties are usually humans.
You understand?
The casualties are humans. Either livelihood or people's customers' money.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. They're just like what's the word I'm looking for now?
Collateral
damage. It happens, but see, that's just life. It's just
Nuggets
the truth.
From TT.
I know it's true. It's just life. Like things don't go your way all the time. Some people are going to lose their jobs. Like the Christmas holiday, people are supposed to go home with rice, and some people they're serving their breakfast at their office place. It's true, and I'm not even talking about tech now.
Like food to breakfast. Okay,
no, like termination letters.
I know. I just wanted to be sure.
Like I'm not even talking about in tech now. Like generally, people are, because the economy is tough.
It is.
And at the end of the day, as a business, you have to look out for yourself.
True.
Like it's nice to say, we love our people. We love them. At the end of the day, they are losing their jobs. It's nice. I mean, we saw, what's his name now? Paystack.
Shola.
Yeah, that's the most you can do. You can be empathetic about it. But at the end of the day, those people don't have those jobs anymore. It's just what it is.
It is.
Do you understand? So
it is what it is.
No, do not. Well, you try. If the company was, as somebody who has built a startup that is struggling, I can tell you for free, it's not easy. You try your best. You
so
do
don't try it. Don't try it at home.
No, do it because I think it helps. It builds character.
Yes.
Yes. Why is it? Yes. Have you been there?
Character development.
100%. It builds character. It teaches you skills. I mean, I think that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't build a startup. Because you're building a new startup. You are doing everything. I was doing literally everything except the building of like the website and everything.
HR, you're the project
and that's
manager.
why I'm a project manager now, because in this life I have juggled 1,000 projects at the same time and they didn't fall apart. Like, yeah, sure. Let's do this. So yeah.
Yeah, there are other news on the Techpoint Africa website. You can check them out. FCCPC, that is Federal Consumer. There's consumer, there's protection, and there's commission in that acronym. They said that. I'm sorry, a journalist should not do that. Yeah, but yes, they said that illegal loan apps continue to thrive because they use payment switch wallet, and then new boat riders to take selfies before a ride request due to safety concerns. That is right? In South Africa. Yeah. Yes. And then Google to allow.
No, it's the riders. Is it the riders, not the drivers? Like, if you want to take a ride now, you have to take a selfie.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you the rider.
I think the idea is to protect the drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because people be moving crazy.
Hello. What's that thing? Hi, I'm the driver. I'm the
rider. Stop it.
I'm not the rider.
I'm not the rider.
Do not.
I'm booking right for the rider.
I'll be like, this is my friend. She's the rider.
Then you can see the news of Google to allow crypto-related ads. That's it today on the Techpoint Africa podcast. Thanks for joining us, our audio lovers on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
What's the end?
And anywhere else you get your podcast.
Sorry, quick question before I continue. The video, do you have the full cut on YouTube? Without
full cut,
like without anything being said, you don't have to go and listen to the audio to get the full gist.
Okay, so that has been the way it is. Then there's a new development.
Okay.
Can we take a poll in the studio whether we should put the full video on YouTube for this episode? Because next week is our last episode for the year. So let's just take a poll in the studio right now. Should we release the full? Should we release the full video on YouTube?
So it's
for
of
you. It doesn't
you.
matter. Let them do it on their own.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Who's going to break the tie?
You will break it on your own now. I don't get
Yeah, so what we do normally is
just 4 of you now. You just vote.
Let's vote for hands up for full video on YouTube.
This episode.
Don't worry, I put my hand up. I actually wanted to be on the
game.
Okay, so this goes on.
Yeah, the bad belly person.
Wait, are you the one that edited the video?
Yes.
And so that's just thinking about the work that is in front of her.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to do that?
Yeah, okay, this will be the last one. We put the full. No. This is a special episode. We have the OGs in the studio. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Okay, I should rest.
Wow.
Oh, wow. She said we're not OGs, bro.
Okay.
It's all right. That's all.
So please, next week will be the last episode for this year. We'll be here in the studio to record it, to make sure we bring Bolu, Chimgozurim, Emmanuel will be here, I will be here. The production people will also come to the front of the camera, or we turn the camera to them depending on how they behave. Anyhow, so but we'll all be here. We'll all be here next week to say our farewell for the year, and we'll see you next year. But for now, thank you, Titi. Thank you, Tage, for coming here. Hopefully, maybe once in a year, we'll bring you here so that you can come and give us that nostalgic feeling. One day we will become OG ourselves. But for now, I'm Oluwanifemi Kolawole, the co-host today. Thanks for coming to the studio.
You.
Bye.
Bye. Emmanuel, say your bye from behind the screen. Bye.